Hey everybody, we've got a special knife today. This is the Opinel number 12 Explore. This is a brand new knife. It just came in straight from France. I don't think it's in the US yet, but it's going to be very soon. And it is very different. It's basically is a number 10, even though it says 12. It's the same size as a number 10. So here's a normal size number 10, and if you take off this extra piece down here, it's the same size as far as length in the blade. It even says this is a 10 centimeter blade, so this is a synthetic. It's not wood, obviously. At the end here, it's got this is a lanyard hole, and it's got some tricks I'll show you here in a second. All right, now let's open it up. Still the finger nick, still the lock, so make sure it's unlocked. Opens pretty easily. Now the first thing is the blade shape straight off, and then it's got the clip point right here. So that's a little different. So here's showing the blade links. This is a wooden number 10 on the right. The new Explorer is a little more robust. So there's the difference. There's a side by side of the normal 10 and this 12 with a 10 centimeter blade. And just because the number 8 Opinel right here is the most popular, I believe, there's a size difference. So let's talk about this. What would be a purpose of this? I think this is going to be more of a bug out type survival than an everyday use item. I would clip this to a bag or inside a bag, or put this in my truck somewhere. So let's talk about the features. Other than the blade, typical locking system that we know from Opinel. Locks shut, twisted open. Now let's take a look at some of the what we call survival features of this knife. So when I first got this, I thought, okay, all this at the end, it's kind of gimmicky. Opinel is just trying to reach out to the survival market. And yeah, it might be, but it's functional, and we'll show you that. So looking here at this, you'll see the lanyard hole. I don't know if this could be used for anything else, but this little piece right here serves multiple purposes. Now, maybe hard to see. You can see the arrows pointing to the left. And this right there, you might say, what is that? Well, it's actually the lock symbol. So right now, this piece is locked in. And you also see there's the mark for the flame, because this piece is a ferro rod. Now, on this side, you'll say, well, that looks like a whistle. And you'd be right. It's a whistle. It's loud. It does work well. Now, getting back to this piece here. I said it was a lock, and you can see that it's locked right now. You just push up just like that, very easy. It does move a little bit, but right now if it's moving like that, you can see that would be an unlock. So you basically push up, unlock it, push that over, push it down to lock it, back and locked, and you've got your hook ready to use. Cut rope. I'm sure you could gut a deer with it or any other animal. Okay, so now let's say you're done using that. You unlock it, push it back, lock it down. Very easy. And it's not going to really come undone, because once it's locked, it kind of stays in there. You have to force it open. Okay, like that. Force it open, push it across, you got your hook. Lock it down. So again, let's unlock it, push it across, lock it down. That's an okay feature. Okay, now let's talk about the ferro rod. How do you get that out? Basically, if you just push, it's not going to come out on its own. It can't. What you have to do is push up, but you slide this over so it's halfway, about like that, and then it just comes right out. And there you've got ferro rod, of which I have not tested yet. So it's pretty cool how they designed this. You can see this ferro rod has a little knob right there, and this metal piece slides, and you can see it goes down in there, and whenever you push it over, it locks in that way or it locks in that way. And This just goes right back in there. Okay, so now here's something I didn't realize when I bought the knife, but I think would be a cool feature, is once you've got your ferro rod, this entire piece comes out and you can slide it out like that. Now, you may say, why do I need that? So this would be good for cleaning out small game, squirrels or rabbits. You can actually hold it like this and maneuver in close. It's dull point here, but you can still get that in there and clean. Then when you're done using it, you basically just slide it right back in. Now, take your ferro rod, push it back in, get it halfway, push it back in, and then you're locked and you're ready to go. Alright, so the last thing here is the whistle, and I will blow it here just so turn your volume down now if you don't want to hear the whistle. Okay, yeah, that was loud. That would work in a survival situation quite well. One thing I did notice about this new 12 Explorer is the nail nick. Now, I don't have extremely long fingernails or thumbnails. This nick sits down in there, and there's a lot of steel in between, so it's not like I can easily, now this is a very minute complaint, but I can't easily get my nail in there, and some of you guys may have trouble because you can't, I mean, you can pick it like that with your fingers, but you need to have a nail to get up in there. Compared to this knife, which is the number 10. You can see how the nail nick is a lot easier to access, and there's not as much steel between the edge, spine, and the start of the nick. So it's much easier to get with your thumbnail. This one's, the blade is maybe stiffer. Of course, I've been using it and beating on it. So you'll notice that this is inox, which is stainless steel. So this is not your carbon blade. Okay, here we go. Let's see how sharp it is out of the box. All right, it'll cut hair. Okay, let's try a notch here. Bites in really well. All the way down the blade, especially on that. Of course it'll notch. It's an Opinel. Try a box. Okay, it's kind of crude, but it's fast. So let's take a look at the blade. Looks good. So I'm liking the performance. Very good woodworking knife. Now here's a dead piece of wood. We'll see how she cuts. Yep. I mean, you know, anybody that's used an Opinel pretty much knows what to expect. And this is a very dead piece of wood, but the blade feels very stout. There's no movement, blade play. Even with, you know, some people don't like these locks. You know, it feels pretty good in my hand. The balance is, it's very heavy in the back because of this extra piece. So your balance point is more around here than where the blade would be. But as far as, you know, just holding it like this, cutting some wood, let's see. So cutting in, biting in deep. You know, I'm not going to really complain too much about that. So first look, Is this for everyone? Probably not. Is this an EDC? Probably not. Would I carry this every day? No. Is it good to have in a bug out bag, or whenever you just go out on a day hike, pack it along in your bag, clip it to your bag? That's definitely an option. And that's where I see this knife, just as a backup. But it's also a really good wood processing knife, I feel. Some people say it might be a gimmick. Is it worth the extra money? That's for you to decide. I just wanted to show you what it looks like, the features, and a quick look of how it works out cutting wood. Alright, now we're going to test out this hook. All I'm really going to do is a couple cuts of the paracord here, and we'll go from that. So again, push it up to unlock it, slide it over, lock it down, you're in shape. So let's see how easy this is. Pull, and I would have expected it to have cut already. Okay, so it did cut. Pretty clean. I did have to rock the blade a little bit. Alright, let's try that again. Now, you got your hook, and so it doesn't immediately slice through, but if you rock it, it does cut. So if I can explain it right, it's not like you're just going to pull it. You have to kind of rock it to cut it. Alright. Okay, honestly guys, I'm not impressed with this cutter for paracord. I mean, yeah, it did cut it, but it was a lot of work, and you just saw it doesn't easily just slice through it. That's not a real big winner in my book, but you know, I guess it's functional. So unfortunately, I don't have an animal, a deer or a squirrel here to test to see if this would actually cut the hide. Now, just to show a comparison, we're going to use the blade instead of that hook. Show you how easy. So this is what I wish the hook would do. Slice. So that hook doesn't do that, but this knife is really sharp. Alright, so we've got our Opinel 12 Explorer, and I know you're not supposed to do this, but we're going to try and chop this branch off. I got a tree that fell, and let's see how it chops. First off, naturally I want to choke back, and this thing's in the way, and that feels like crap. So I can't really choke back at all. It's got some weight in the handle. Yeah, this is not comfortable at all. Wow, that's so sharp, but okay, that's not much of a tree. That hurts so bad. My pinky finger, it really hurts because of that thing right there. That's obvious. However, if I had to chop with it, all I gotta do, slide that up halfway, pull this out, slide that out, put it in my pocket. Now, wow, look at that. Now I can really choke back. I can handle this. It feels good, just like that. And much easier chopping. Does not hurt my hand. And it's functional. It's like a longer handle without the stuff in the way. Alright, so here's another limb from this down tree, and it's quite a bit larger in diameter. Alright. Alright, this should do it. Alright, I took it down. And let's take a look at the blade. Get that wood off of there. So looks pretty good. Okay guys, so after doing that chopping, I did notice something. And now I know I shouldn't have chopped with it probably. So right here you can see where I was chopping and it indented the metal and the plastic. Alright, so after that use, you know, it's hot out here and it was pretty sweaty, dirty hands, and I gotta say this grip really worked out well. I didn't have any slippage. First impressions, I'm not really sure how to classify it. The hook I'm not impressed with. The sharpness for cutting paracord. The whistle here, plenty loud. Lanyard, I don't know. I don't really like this being here when you go to, but you're not going to chop with it. So it's a wood processor, so I don't think it really matters. And the spine is a 90-degree spine, so that works well. Shaving fat wood or using the ferro rod. So now let's look at the spine and see if it can actually shave, and that 90-degree spine on this one. Alright, we'll do one last test, and this will be the ferro rod. So you can take the ferro rod, and yeah, this can come off, but if you just push it in that way, it kind of stays in there. Alright, let's test out the ferro rod. Hope we can get this on film and show the sparks. I'm not going to actually start a fire with it. Wow. Works pretty well. I don't know how if you can see it, but alright. That'll definitely get you a fire going pretty well there. So there it is. It's a pretty decent knife. It's definitely a woodworker, but it'll be that survival backup knife if you need. Again, it's got the plastic handles, 10-centimeter blade, clip point. It's got the big lanyard. It's got the whistle and the hook. This comes out, put it back in, and you lock everything down with the ferro rod, and you're good to go. Okay folks, that's the Opinel No. 12 Explorer, the newest knife from Opinel. My first thoughts and opinion is it's pretty good. I definitely like the handle. It's very comfortable. I did not slide, even though I did get kind of sweaty out here, and it felt good at all times, except when I was chopping with this in, as you saw that. But overall, I can't say if it'll be worth the money. Only you can decide that. If these extras are gimmicky to you, or would they be worth it? I don't know if I would use all these in a survival situation. Perhaps the whistle would definitely come in handy if I was trying to be found. The ferro rod absolutely works, and it will help you start a fire. The hook, not so well on rope or 550, but on a hide, I believe it would work well for gutting an animal. And just overall, depends on the price point. I did get this direct from France. They're not in the United States yet, but just wanted to show you guys. Appreciate you stopping by. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of this new knife. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.